Did you know that Ballard Innovative Products is celebrating its 25th year, bringing you the best gear for the lawn and landscape professional, weekend warrior, or home and garden enthusiast? From mower gear, safety gear, trailer racks, equipment securement, equipment servicing tools, chute blockers, mower blades, aluminum baggers, cleaning products, snow removal tools, and much more to make you efficient, effective, safe, and profitable in the field. Be sure to check out the Ballard-Inc.com website to help dominate and elevate your business this season. With over 30 years in the green industry, we're sure that we've got something you can't live without. Our website search by mower function now makes it easier than ever. New gear is being added all the time. Stay safe and keep grinding. Ballard.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Wanted to talk to you guys for just a couple minutes here on today's podcast episode about subbing out sites and some things that we're learning along the way of cutting our teeth, learning valuable lessons, and really just making sure that, what's the best way I can say it? You're crossing your T's, dotting your I's, making sure that you're secure in the bag, and making sure that you're not on the hook for anything that you're not responsible for, or if you are, make sure you're getting compensated for it. So I know that's a little bit of an elusive intro, but I'll break it down here for you guys in just a second. Wanted to talk about some sites that we took on for subcontracting for another firm, and I'm going to do my best to, of course, not name names or anything like that. Then, not that the names need to be hidden, but they also don't need to be protected. It's just, I'm not there yet. Things are going fine. It's been weird, kind of a relationship. But long story short, as we look on to grow, people are always asking, hey, how do you get more commercial sites, or how do you grow your lawn landscape company? Well, for us, commercial, we're getting a lot of leads from our website. Shout out to Brandon Bull. We're doing some active marketing campaigns with Postcard Mania. We've had some great real estate agents refer us, commercial real estate agents. I believe that's still what they'd be called. Meaning they sell commercial sites or landlords, or they're trying to build to suit kind of stuff. And this is just through networking. Our name's starting to permeate a little bit more. We're doing our best. And by the way, there's still a lot more that I have to learn on this whole topic, especially as we start to build our sales funnel for snow work in the next couple of weeks and start that whole campaign. I'm going to be sharing with you guys as much as I can about how we are getting more commercial sites in that regard, if you want them. And a big if, because with commercial sites, sometimes it's fun work, sometimes it is hair-pulling work, and it drains and sucks the soul out of you. I don't know if everybody shares about that or is as candid or honest, but it's the truth. From payment terms to scope of work to expectations to finger pointing to timelines or deadlines, it's a little bit of everything in between, especially if you start adding layers to the contract or the agreement, or again, you're subbing or subbing out of a sub. It's just absolutely wild. So a couple instances this week, and by the way, I know a lot of folks, you guys appreciate the content on YouTube, and you guys appreciate the podcast. When I'm not recording content, I am 100% on the phone and emailing almost, I feel like 24/7, right? I mean, that's just the role that I am trying to grow into, and the role that I'm trying to do with my company. I'm not as much in the field, although I'm in it a day or two a week. Usually doing landscape jobs or mulch jobs, or maybe helping the guys catch up or finish up. Usually they've been pretty solid. We've got enough labor, sometimes too much labor to boot. But it's this fine, delicate balancing act between being in the field, being a solo operator, to growing to a level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 size business, and the different roles that you permeate from, right? And you graduate to. And so I'm in the thick of it. And so when you got people that say Fullerton doesn't even work, he's not in the field, he's never dirty. Well, no shit. I'm not in the field every day because I'm not getting dirty, because I'm selling and I'm on the phone and I'm emailing all the freaking time. And that's something that somebody who's an owner-operator just does not understand. Somebody who, that's the world they live in. It's like you got your 20 lawns that day, you mow and you go home and you're grungy, you're gross. Yeah, that's the role you're in. Level 2, you're running 2 crews and you're still trying to run around bidding some work when you can. Level 3 kind of business, right? You're more in the sales role. Maybe you got 2, 3, 4, 5 crews and you're 100% in sales. Level 4 business, maybe you got an office manager and a team and maybe somebody selling with you and for you. And then level 5, just to reiterate this, you guys have heard this on a podcast before. A level 5 company, your mailbox money. You got your leadership team in place, your mailbox money. Doesn't mean you are totally absolved from the business or anything like that. But maybe you can go on a 2 or 3 week motorcycle trip or a 2-month trip to Europe, with the family. Like you've got probably 50, 100, 200 people working for you and keeping this $5, $10, $20 million company going, right? So there's different levels along the way. So what I'm just trying to do is share and document where I'm at in the middle. And right now, I'm in a heavy on the phone, heavy on the email, heavy communicating to my guys, heavy on the scheduling, heavy utilizing LMN for budgeting, for numbers, for bidding, quoting, and sending out the crews and the schedule. And it's different, man. It's a totally different. It requires different things of me. It requires different things of the guys. And as we grow and learn, I'm hoping to just share some of these lessons with you guys as somebody who's in the middle. I'm not the new guy. I'm not the $20 million guy. We don't have just 20 accounts and we're mowing a couple lawns. And we also aren't, doing $1 million just yet. We will be very soon, but we're in the middle. And the middle is tough. The middle is tumultuous. The middle, at least in my experience so far, they say stay small, keep it all. You will definitely make more money as an owner-operator and you and a guy than you will potentially with 2, 3, 4 guys doing 3, 4, 500 grand. And that's why we are utilizing LMN to get a better hold on our numbers. And of course, continue to grow through these bottlenecks and pain points and sweet spots where they're increasingly more profitable levels, right? And this is the whole conversation of growth. This is the whole conversation of growth. And I know a lot of you guys are in the middle of it. I know a lot of you guys are in the mix of it. I know a lot of you guys appreciate it. Because you're in the same boat and I'm in the same boat. We're all learning together. And frankly, like I had a bunch of people, part of our Link membership on live last night with Nick Carlson, who was our special guest. You heard me allude to that the other day. And it was just such a banger conversation because Nick was talking about all these growth topics, the middle. It's not, hey, what leaf blower? Hey, what truck? Hey, what software are you using? Necessarily. It's leadership and sales and working with clients and keeping a schedule and keeping your guys happy and also training them. It's just a much different conversation, right? And I got more great feedback from my Wednesday podcast episode talking about growth and my roadshow and Nick Carlson's conversation last night on our live stream than some of the other content that we put out. And I love it because I think it's growth-oriented conversation. And so that's what I'm excited about. Well, another part of that, right, is dealing with different sites and different work. And as you're trying to grow, it's not always just going to be, hey, you get a residential cut, it's $50 and you go make your money. Sometimes you got, or even a commercial site, hey, it's a $150 weekly mow and you got a little of this, little of that. Like sometimes you are under the gun and you're subbing out sites and work. And other times you're working as a sub, taking on sites and work. And it's just it's a wildly different conversation. Sometimes you're the leader, sometimes you're the follower, sometimes you're the follower, sometimes you're the leader. So a lot of words. And by the way, if you get it, you get it. If you're in the middle, you know what I'm saying. It's hard to articulate, but I'm doing the best I can with my vocabulary. But a couple examples here, 2 glaring ones that I wanted to talk about. As you guys, and this is just maybe, if you're in it, you get it. And I can relate. So that's probably just me complaining on this episode. But if you're going through this process and you're not here yet, just log this in the back of your mind as ammo in your arsenal, right? So 2 examples. One, I want to talk about a huge site that we manage. It's an HOA. We are the property management company that's there doing all the work, but there's there's a property management company that handles the billing, the HOA, all that kind of stuff, right? One of those property management companies. And then we sub out, obviously, for the HOA and for the property management company, we take care of all the work. We're the boots on the ground. So, there's just some pushback and some back and forth with things being spelled out about certain aspects of what work is getting done or completed on this site. And again, I'm trying to really tiptoe through here, so forgive me. But what happened was there wasn't a very good handoff from the company previous year to the company 3 years ago to ourselves last year, and then of course ourselves again this year. And certain things were not explicitly handed off and setting us up for success. And through that, really the previous company not only did not do a very good job with the site, but then they prohibited us from doing an excellent job with the handoff because they never passed us the baton on a couple different things. And I'm not going to get into it, but the bottom line is I'm getting some conversations back and forth with the HOA, and the HOA is very understanding. The property management company is saying, hey, this is your problem. You need to fix this. And I'm thinking to myself, one, absolutely not. It's not spelled out in the contract. Number two, you guys are leaving us hanging. And so you need to fix this. This is not a me problem. And for example, and I know I'm being very elusive here, but for example, I can't do certain things until other things are done. But if the things that has not gotten done are going to get blamed or pushed on me, then this needs to be spelled out in contract. And number two, it needs to be financially compensated, right? And so I guess takeaway or lesson little number one on this is when you're looking at scope of work and when you guys are looking at contracts, as you guys have heard before, don't assume anything. Don't obligate yourself to anything without it being spelled out or crossing your T's and dotting your I's. And unfortunately, the scenario with this is that this is a new one to me. Maybe not a new one to everybody, but there's a new one to me where the city is supposed to take care of certain elements of something, and then we are responsible from there forward for the scope of work. But the previous company never handed that baton off. The property management company never told us, and the HOA has no clue because that's not their job. That's why they hired the property management company. And again, I know I'm being very elusive here. Some of you guys that understand what I'm talking about can already probably connect the dots and understand where things are going. But basically, there's been not nasty emailing back and forth, but me being very firm. And the other company saying, well, this is part of your job. And I'm like, no, I'd love for you to explain it and show me in the contract where this is my job. This is not our job. We would never do this. This is the job of a different trade and professional. So with all due respect, that's not going to happen. Now, if you'd like to communicate with the city, for example, and if you would like to work with the previous company to set us up for success so we can do our job moving forward, then boom, we're more than happy to facilitate, right? But again, when you go into these commercial contracts, whether you're getting subbed out or you're subbing out, please make sure everything is spelled out correctly, right? Please make sure everything is spelled out to detail. And again, maybe you've never navigated some of these commercial sites. If you start getting these contracts or these agreements coming across your desk, folks, for the love of God, please book a coaching call with whoever your guru is. Ask your big dog guy in town, hey, can you help me look at this site or this whatever? Find your friend, find your mentor, find somebody who's been there, done that. Almost in any topic in life, right? This is how you should navigate it. But especially for commercial and especially for some of these commercial contracts. Now, again, some of the commercial contracts that I've received and you guys have done, I'm sure, are one page and it's a formality. Nobody cares. Life goes on. Very simple people. And especially, I'm sure, if you get more rural, more country, it's more handshake deals and just we got some good paperwork to protect both sides. But it's very, very spelt out. But when you start subbing out and you start working with people who are managing multiple sites and it always nickels and dimes to the cheapest price or the lowest bidder, and there's some of the different brands out there and big companies out there that, utilize very mafia tactics, right, to just strong arm or not pay. You got to be very careful with some of these agreements. And that's why being part of Facebook groups or communities or asking the big guy in town who's been doing this for 30 years, who probably saw that contract come and go or got burned 15 years ago, they know these things. Right. So you have to start asking questions and saying, hey, what am I looking at here? What am I missing here? Well, this is a new one for me because this was never been in any of the 24 commercial sites that we manage. Some small, some big. Big is relative. I've never seen this before. And I was consulting actually with my friend Mike, and he's like, yeah, he goes, it's funny. This happened to another mutual friend of ours through another site with the same city. And it's a totally abstract thing. I've never even heard of this before, okay? So not drama, nothing negative, nothing evil, but again, I'm not on the hook and I'm not liable for this. This is what the contract says. This is what I'm supposed to do. And that part forward, if you'd like us to manage it, we'd be more than happy to. Give me a name, give me a number, and here's the associated fee with me taking care of it. Okay, so just a little bit of pushback. And unfortunately, that creates tension in a relationship, not so much with me, but with the property management company. But again, here's the thing. We need to work together with these folks because one hand washes each other and they both wash the face. In this trinity of an HOA, a property management company that you're working with, or somebody who's a subcontractor that you're subbing out with and for, and then of course your business, there's three things going on here. There's no reason for everybody to point fingers. We have to have everybody working together because at the end of the day, get the grass mowed, get the snow plowed. Okay, but what I will just say is don't let that ever feel like you're under the gun, under the wire, and get squashed and crushed. You have to communicate no sometimes to different contracts or vendors and not know that we can't do it. Just know that's not how this works. Here's how this actually works. Let me help you out. And maybe sometimes advise people, suggest things to people on how to do their freaking job. Okay, so let's draw a line in the sand. So very elusive, a lot of words, just know what you're getting yourself into. And if you don't know, ask for help. There's takeaway number one, whatever. Number two, this is a stupid problem. This is a very stupid one, but I'm thinking about it while I'm thinking about it. Just talking about the different stuff that I've been subbed out and subbing out just this week. This is Fullerton can't, do this. He's replying to certain people, not replying to certain people, making content, not making content. He's got this going on, not got this going on. Like, folks, this is my real life. Like, I'm going 100 miles an hour just like you guys. To fit in a podcast, people are like, where do you get time for this? I don't. I literally don't even know how we do this with the podcast and the YouTube channel. We just figure it out and make it happen. And that's why it's such a passion project to make sure we have podcasts dropping for you guys so you feel like you have a damn lifeline out there because it is so combative sometimes in the world of life and business and exhausting and draining. And I got 30 seconds here to wrap this thing up because I got a webinar I got to jump on. But the biggest thing is when you take on other sites and other folks did not do the scope of work, make sure you're getting compensated for backfilling work that you're taking care of. And everything is explicitly spelled out. So we're taking a couple new sites. They've been good. They've been great. We're working towards where things need to be. But let's just say the monthly budget requires A, B, and C. And the customer says, cool, we want to do this. But also we need A, B, and C, and D, and E because this stuff wasn't getting done. Maybe pick up a commercial site mid-season. Do not do scope of work E and F or D, E, and F if the budget doesn't make it available, right? Like you have to be explicitly with commercial sites. We're talking commercial sites. What's supposed to get done? What's the budget? And who's paying for this stuff? Because when you start subbing out for another company that's skimming on the top and the budget can sometimes get, worked with a little bit. But let's just say there's a client that's getting $1,000 a month and you're getting subbed out for $800 a month. You can't say, hey, they need to get everything pruned for $1,500 because that's going to go back up to the company and then back over to the client. And the client's going to go, whoa. It was a flat rate, $1,000 a month. The pruning should be included. Well, if it hasn't been getting done for 2 months, 6 months, or 2 years, just be careful that shit doesn't roll downhill to you. Because if you start signing paper saying that you're on the hook for that and things are supposed to be maintained in a proper working order or a certain image, but yet that wasn't getting done for a year or 2 years and then it gets put onto your plate, you have to say, whoa. Absolutely, we can help you out. We always have capacity for anything, but the price has to be right and we have to agree on a price. I understand XYZ person might have screwed up or you guys need X, Y, and Z done. No problem. Here's a price and here's a quote. So as you guys take on sites, just be careful of what you're obligating yourself to. And even before you take them on, spell out all the rest of the scope of work to make sure that it all gets up to the standard that it's supposed to be, but not on your dime. And I know this sounds elusive again. Nobody talks about this. I've never heard anybody talk about this on a podcast, but this is the truth. Okay, so we took on some sites. I said, hey, here's XYZ expectations. By the way, it's a previous company that we've subbed out for. They've paid their bills, but they were net 60. They actually originally were net 30, and then they sent out a company email saying we're now moving to net 60 this same time last year. Actually, one of you guys listening know exactly what I'm talking about. You subbed out some sites for them too, and it was kind of a tumultuous setup for the sites that we were managing, but these are different sites, so hopefully it's going to be better, right? So I'm breaking my cardinal rule of going back to an abusive, quote-unquote, relationship. Abusive being a lightly used word here. But as I go back to this client, I say, hey, first off, last time, previous client, maybe it was the client, but the payment terms, unacceptable. I don't do net 60, I'll do net 30. They said, no problem. Actually, I was able to renegotiate that. That was awesome. By the way, commercial accounts, sometimes you have the ability. I remember Alicia Brenzel talking on a podcast once. She said, sometimes we don't get paid for 6 months and we're like, why do we even accept these terms? Let's tell them net 60 or net 90. And some of the clients were actually able to facilitate that. Talk about a change in life for, financial cash flow, especially if you got clients that are doing $1 million projects like they do with Brex Enterprises in Pennsylvania. So to go back to the client, I said, no problem. We'll do this. We'll do that. And then they shot me an email and said, hey, we need to get this, and this done. I said, no. I said, I'm happy to do it. Here's the pricing. If you'd like, we can make room on the schedule. And they said yes, because one, they're going to take the L to keep the account and keep them happy. But number two, they're probably going to backdate and charge the previous contractor that failed to meet the scope of work. And by the way, that can happen. Last thing I'll say, and we'll button this up. A lot of folks out there, when you sign these commercial contracts, if you do not do the work that you're signed up to do, be very cautious and very careful, and have your attorney, if you need to, look at the legalese of all the different back charging of work, that if you bail, you're probably still going to be on the hook financially for the work and of course not make money. So you're going to pay to get out of your contract. And I've got buddies that are dealing with tens and 20s and 30s of thousands of dollars in snow like that. Multiple friends that I know that are dealing with stuff like that because they dropped sites or they didn't fulfill or some bull crap happened or they weren't happy with payment terms and they tried to stiff people all across the country, lawn and snow. And believe it or not, contractually, if you start signing some of these papers, you're obligated for that and you're not going to get paid, or you're going to get paid to get out of your contract. And again, not to put the fear of God in you about commercial sites, you just have to be smart with what you're entering into. And again, please ask for help. I'm probably not the best resource. I'm learning this as we go. I can navigate and do my best, but find that big dog guy in town that you trust or a corporate attorney to help you out with some of these terms and agreements. Okay, but again, if you're on the hook for something, you're going to go, well, nobody ever talked to me about that, and you just sign it and say, yeah, we'll take care of it. Stiff arm, say no. Make sure things are spelled out, and have a mature conversation saying, hey, more than happy to help you out, but somebody's going to be paying for this. Who is going to be paying for it? And if it's not the client, it's going to be them. And if they want that long-term relationship with that customer, they'll make that investment. All right, so I know this is probably one of the more elusive type of podcasts. Nothing bad, nothing wrong, nothing evil, just bull crap. And this is not the glorious stuff that anybody shares about really on the podcast or on Instagram. I mean, sort of how do you? It's kind of weird, nuanced stuff. But this is just the stuff that I'm going with real time and dealing with real time. And I would imagine a lot of you guys are too, especially when you're in the growth mode and you're acquiring these different residential and or, of course, commercial or industrial sites. All right. And this is just the lawn. Don't even get me started on the snow. So, all right. That's what I got for you guys on today's podcast episode. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Have a beautiful week. I was thinking about Link membership the other, just 2 seconds ago. So I said, have a beautiful Link. Have a beautiful week. If you missed Link, you guys can still join. It's $29 a month. We'd love to have you in the Facebook group. Check out the live stream that you did with 2 days ago with Nick, and you get all the other previous interviews. Oh my God, what a tremendous treasure trove of wealth of knowledge in there. LEL tickets, so some of you guys were asking, those will go on sale the first week of July. Together in the Trade's coming in about 4.5 weeks. Folks, it's crazy. But in that regard, we're shifting gears down for the weekend. Hopefully get some time with the family. And that's what I got for you guys. We'll see you Monday. Over now. Have a great rest of the day.
Ballard Products has what you need. If you're looking for one place to find all the gear you need, jump on Ballard-Inc.com. With over 30 years in the industry and now celebrating our 25th anniversary selling high-quality products, we've got your back. From mower gear, trailer racks, mower blades, safety gear, and so much more, you'll find everything you need to maximize your efforts and protect your gear in one place. And let's not forget about the carbide titanium gold blade options that cut amazing and last longer between sharpenings, giving you optimum performance in the field. We've got a bunch of new gear coming soon, so make sure that you're following Ballard to stay in the loop. Head over to Ballard-Inc.com today and get geared up. Now, go get after it. Ballard. Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.